Ramivek, you will unmute
Yes,
yourself
sir.
and
Yes,
then
sir.
you will start. Ramivek, unmute yourself and start your
Yes.
presentation.
So my diagnosis: right-sided recurrent syndromic congenital talipes equinovarus of foot and ankle without any associated anomalies in a second-born 14-month-old non-working male child.
Why do you say recurrent?
Because
Ramivek,
yes, sir.
why did you use the term recurrent?
Initially 5 POP casing was done, sir, over a period of
Yeah.
3 months with irregular, and it was partially corrected, sir. But the patient was not brought to regular follow-up, so the deformity reappeared, sir. So I'm meaning it as recurrent.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
Ram Vivek, why you said it is syndromic?
Sir, the baby is associated with cardiac anomalies and some minimal coarse facial features, sir. So I am into it as
Then in
syndromic.
the diagnosis, when you say recurrent syndromic, then
Yes,
you
sir.
have to justify your diagnosis of syndromic also.
Yes, sir. The baby has atrial septal defect with some coarse facial features, sir. Inantal distance and frontal bossing
Okay.
with flattened nose.
Mhm. But then you have said that syndromic congenital talipes equinovarus of the foot and ankle without any associated anomalies. Is it not?
Yes,
That is your diagnosis, you have said. No?
yes, sir.
But then now you are saying that he has got associated anomalies.
No anomalies for spine or other joints, sir.
But then
Only with coarse facial features.
no skeletal associated abnormalities. That is what you should be very specific then. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See, when you say syndromic, it just means that it is associated with other features, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, in your diagnosis, you are contradicting one with another.
Hmm.
So, either you can say that it is a recurrent syndromic clubfoot.
Yes, sir.
So, you don't think it is a relapse.
No, sir.
So, is it a rigid clubfoot? Because he never had a complete correction of the clubfoot. It was only partially corrected according to you.
Partially corrected, but he was not brought to follow for next 7 months, sir.
Okay. Why do you say it is clubfoot or CTV?
The deformities cavus adduction, varus and equinus, sir.
Okay. What is the difference between clubfoot and CTV?
It's also known as clubfoot, sir. Since it resembles a club in a golf game, so it is named as clubfoot, sir.
Are they synonymous?
Yes, sir.
No, actually, CTV is the term that is idiopathic CTV, the term that is used when you do a head to foot examination and find that there is no other abnormality other than the clubfoot, other than the foot abnormality. That is what
Yes,
is
sir.
called as CTV. And for clubfoot, there can be neurological causes, muscular causes, osseous causes, syndromic causes, so many causes will be there.
Yes, sir.
So many people use the term CTD for an idiopathic clubfoot, where you cannot find any abnormalities. And those with some other underlying factors, you call it clubfoot.
Sir.
Okay, you can tell the findings.
Kumar sir, I think recurrent means it should have been corrected completely. Because it was
This
it
was
should
only
have-
partially corrected.
partially corrected. So we cannot say it is recurrent.
Yeah, that's what I was telling. Partial correction can be due to inadequate treatment. Then it is different from when correction could not be achieved because of rigidity. That is different. Now you can tell a short history and clinical findings.
Yes, sir. Sir, on local examination of right and foot and ankle, the attitude of the baby was lying in supine position with normal lumbar lordosis.
What are the
both
things you want to ask the parents in the history? What are the things that you want to ask the parents first?
And when you are describing, just put on the pictures of the patient,
Yes, sir.
so that it can make our understanding easy. Yes, go ahead. What important points in the history you will ask? Gopaka Mercer is asking.
Right from birth history, we will ask, sir.
Yes.
And we will ask for any antenatal history regarding oligohydramnios or any maternal complications.
In the antenatal history, what is more important?
Any oligohydramnios is there.
Of arthrogryposis, which is a common cause. What antenatal history will you get in arthrogryposis?
Oligohydramnios, sir.
Yeah, reduce fetal movements.
Yes.
Reduce fetal movements. And again, nowadays, most people are getting an ultrasound.
Yes, sir.
Antenatal ultrasound. Did they detect any problems in the antenatal ultrasound? You can ask that also. Okay. Then what? What other history?
Any family history, sir? Any consanguineous marriages there?
Yeah. Was it present from birth? That is an important thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then regarding the treatment history.
Yes, sir.
Okay. General examination, what are the things you want to look for?
First activity of the baby, sir. Baby alert, awake and playful. Frontal bossing was present with increased intercanthal distance, flatter nose and low set ears, no cleft lip or cleft palate. Both the upper limbs appear to be normal, and in spine also no tuft of hair or no nevus, and spine appears to be normal. Chest and abdomen and pelvis also appear to be normal.
Okay.
What do you mean by flattened nose?
Sir?
Flattened nose.
Flattened nasal bridge, what does it indicate? That is what sir is asking.
Yes, sir.
Are you having something in the mind when you say there is flattened nose?
Down syndrome.
Yes,
Saddle nose in leprosy.
No, associated with clubfoot. Larsen syndrome, they will have a
Yes,
flat
sir.
nose. Okay.
Hyperlap.
And clubfoot. Yeah. Then local examination.
Local examination of right foot and ankle, attitude. Baby be in supine position with the normal, both the anterior superior leg spine at the same level, hip or externally rotated knee.
Why do you are jumping into the hip? You are having problem in the foot,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? Tell the findings in the foot.
Yes, sir.
Show the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So knee is in extension, patella facing outward and laterally, leg is internally rotated, ankle is in equinus and plantar flexion, while the heel is in varus, midfoot is in cavus, and forefoot is adducted and supinated.
Okay. Then
On inspection, the right side foot appears to be small and supinated with the prominence of talar heads. And
Any
concave medial border,
discrepancy?
no limbless discrepancy.
Okay.
Concave medial border with a single deep medial grease and medial malleoli is almost obliterated. Heel was small and raised up, single deep posterior grease on the back of the heel with wasting of calf muscles. The lateral border was convex with prominent lateral malleoli and thickened pigmented skin present over the lateral malleoli. The forefoot seems to be adducted and supinated, while the midfoot is with high arched foot with apparent shortening of medial longitudinal arch and lengthening of lateral longitudinal arch. Toe seems to be flexed, no scars or sinuses, no dilated veins and visible pulsations.
why do you say visible pulsations? That is for the swelling, isn't it? Examination of the swelling.
Yes, sir.
On palpation, what are your findings?
So no local rise of temperature, no tenderness, and inspectory findings were all confirmed by palpation, with the head of the talus palpated and navicular bone subluxated medially, and the distance between navicular bone and medial malleoli was almost reduced. Calcaneum was difficult to palpate and suggesting of empty heel. That thickening of the skin over the lateral aspect of the foot were palpated, and tight cord-like tendo-achilles is palpated. Distal pulses were felt normally.
Movements?
80-degree plantar flexion was there, unable to do dorsiflexion, and
Is it possible to bring the foot to neutral?
passively we can bring 120 degrees from that 80 degrees plantar flexed foot, sir.
Okay, so
But we
20,
yes, sir.
20 degree fixed equinus.
Yes.
Okay. Then
Measurements.
subtalar movements, mid-tarsal movements.
Great toes and lesser toes were in flexion, and eversion and dorsiflexion was not possible, sir. The foot seems to be in inversion and varus.
So are you able to correct the adduction of the forefoot up to neutral or beyond neutral, or is it still having a fixed adduction?
No, sir, it can correct up to neutral, can bring back to neutral. Yes,
what about heel varus? Are you able to correct it?
No, sir.
No. What happens when you supinate the forefoot? Is the heel varus getting corrected?
No, sir. Only during cavus correction, we used to exaggerate it by supinating.
When you supinate the forefoot or elevate the first ray, is it getting corrected heel varus?
No, sir. Only cavus gets corrected.
Okay. Then you said about measurements.
Yes, sir. There was no limb length discrepancy, sir, but wasting of calf muscles present by 1 centimeter, sir, on the affected side.
Measurement of the foot.
Foot width was increased by 1 centimeter, but both medial and longitudinal were shortened by 1 centimeter, sir.
Oh, which is longer, medial side or lateral side?
Both sides shortened by 1 centimeter when compared to normal limb, sir.
Okay. What about neurology? Neurological examination.
Distal pulse are present and no neurovascular deficit, sir.
You said the toes are flexed, isn't it?
Yes,
Did
sir.
you do any test to find out whether there is a neurological problem in a child?
No, sir.
You stimulate the sole of the foot, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Is the child able to dorsiflex the foot? Usually when you do that, as
Yes,
in
sir.
eliciting the plantar reflex,
Yes, sir.
the toes will go to dorsiflexion. Are you able to get that?
Yes,
Because
sir.
that is very important to identify the neurological problems. Okay.
The
Sir,
plumb line
you
test.
can take over, sir, now.
No, I think you go ahead.
What? Yeah. You said about some test. What test?
Plumb line test was passing to the fourth web space, sir.
Plumb line test. What is this plumb line test?
So the baby was seated on the edge of the couch and with hip and knees 90 line run from center of patella to center of ankle joint. And the line from central of ankle joint usually passes through first web space or second metatarsal, sir. Due to increased adduction and deformity, the line passes to the fourth web space, sir, in our child.
Okay. Is the child having any torsional deformity of the leg?
Internal tibial torsion.
Is it there? How did you measure the internal tibial torsion?
Plumb line test, sir.
Usually it is a different test, isn't it?
With the plumb line test, how can you measure the torsion? Because the deformity can be in the foot. How do you analyze the tibial torsion by the plumb line test?
Show us initial 3 pictures. Show us initial 3 snaps.
Yes, sir.
Go back. Yes. Now appreciate here. Affected limb, though both the knees, patella facing equally anterolaterally. But see the tibia and ankle compared to left, right side. Can you appreciate the tibial intorsion?
Yes, sir.
Now answer sir's question.
Now, what is the usual test that is described for measuring the tibial torsion?
Sir, first we will take intermalleolar distance, sir. Then we will line on line perpendicular to the long axis of thigh, sir.
Usually what you do is a thigh foot angle, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You measure the thigh foot angle with the knee flexed 90 degree and the ankle neutral. So that gives the amount of tibial torsion. Any other findings you want to tell? What about dorsalis pedis? Is it palpable?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Palpable.
Okay. What about Pirani score?
Pirani score here 6 out of 6, sir. Both
6 out of
midfoot and hindfoot is in severely deformed.
So your diagnosis is
Right
say
sided
rigid
recurrent.
clubfoot.
Yes.
Yeah. What is the opinion of others, sir? I would prefer the term rigid clubfoot rather than recurrent clubfoot.
I think, sir, this will be relapse because somehow it was been treated earlier, so it should be presented right, like it's not. I think probably we are not happy with the recurrent sort of terminology.
Recurrent club. I think if it has been corrected, probably relapse is a better term.
Yes, it is a relapse
Forefoot,
because
hindfoot.
yes, it is a relapse of the this club. Better to present in the exam like relapse of the club foot or CTV. How you tell? Okay. Kakatkar sir, your opinion, sir? Sir, you are muted, sir.
Yeah, I think we should treat it as, we should label it as a partially treated or relapsed foot rather than saying recurrent. Because
Yes.
if you say recurrent, it means it was completely corrected in the first sitting and then it has recurred, you know. It is not that way. It is not properly treated in the first sitting itself, you know. So I would prefer a term partially treated or relapsed.
Yes, relapse will be the better term for the
Yeah,
exam.
yeah. And is there any scar on the backside on the tendo Achilles?
No, sir.
No. Was it treated with proper Ponseti method and was there a tenotomy done? Is there any history available?
No, no, sir. I was treated in our hospital with Ponseti technique, but tenotomy was not done, sir.
Oh. At what stage will you do a tenotomy?
Tenotomy will once after correcting cavus, adduction, and varus, and before applying cast per equinus, we will do tenotomy, sir.
So after the correction of the forefoot, then only you think of doing a tenotomy. So as the tenotomy was not done, it probably indicates that there was no correction of the forefoot completely. That is why I said that it is probably partially treated. You know, it wasn't treated completely.
Yes.
Patient didn't do the follow-up, no?
Yes, sir.
Samantha sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
After long time,
Yeah.
nice to see
Yes.
you.
Yes, last few days probably we are started doing work. So
That's
today,
right.
today I thought no, anyhow I must join. Today I finished my job
Yes.
earlier.
Now we are used to see each other.
Yes, yes.
So I have to go, but then I sat at least half an hour.
Okay, okay, sir. So I think now Kakatkar sir and Gopakumar sir, we can go ahead with the how they go ahead with the treatment plan, how they
Yes.
manage from now on.
Yes. How will you manage it now?
Now we'll go for a posteromedial soft tissue release, sir.
Will you like to see the skeleton, how it
Yes,
is
sir.
by taking an X-ray?
Yes, sir.
No, once somebody is asking you that how you go ahead with the treatment plan and management, you have to investigate, counsel, and manage.
Yeah,
Na?
exactly.
So it can you
That
just
standard protocol you should not forget, you know.
should not do the surgery. Okay. because you are treating a relapsed club foot, so your planning has to be proper, na? Unless you take the X-rays and you plan accordingly the angles and counsel the parents, and then you go ahead with the treatment. So there are three parts, as we told even in the many meetings: investigate, counsel, and treat. Okay, management actually the part of the treatment. So when you ask about the management, it has got three parts. So what X-ray do you advise for this sort of cases?
AP standard AP view, sir, and if the child is non-ambulatory, we will advise stress dorsiflexion lateral view. If the child is walking, we will advise standard lateral view, sir, weight bearing.
Okay.
Is this
Show the
child
X-ray.
weight bearing?
Deformity, the child is
Okay.
not walking.
Okay.
But age you
What
told around 14 months, na?
Yes, sir.
So it is very hard to believe that he is not walking.
No, and lateral side, you said there are callosities. So the child must be making attempts to stand on that leg, because of which the child has developed callosity on the lateral side. Is the child making any attempts to stand?
Yes, sir.
Another thing, you are saying recurrent, doesn't look to be relapse, it is incomplete treatment. So you will go directly for surgery, or you will do the proper treatment before surgery?
Yeah, I would tried 4 more POP cases, sir, but it is not correcting. So we will counsel them and go for surgery, sir.
No, you said it is incomplete treatment, no?
Yes, sir.
Patient
After follow-up, we did 4 more POP cases, sir,
I see.
for the past 1.5 months. But still the deformity is persisting, sir.
Okay.
Then you should explain that after incomplete treatment, we have tried again the treatment and by plaster, and it is not recovering. So examiner will not know. We go see that you are jumping to the surgery.
Yes.
Okay.
So show the X-rays. And read the X-ray.
This diagram of AP and lateral view of the skeletally immature individual, showing distal part of leg and foot with ankle in the lateral view and foot in the AP view. Here talocalcaneal angle and talus first metatarsal angle is in favor of CTV.
See, once you have shown the X-ray, you should read what do you see in the lateral X-ray, what do you see in the AP view.
Saying in favor of CTV is not in this description of the X-ray. Whether it rotated, flexed, medially deviated,
Yes, sir.
metatarsals.
Metatarsals are adducted and medially rotated, sir. And foot is in equinus, sir. Plantarly flexed.
No, listen one thing. When you describe your X-ray, suppose for the CTV, don't jump from lateral to AP to lateral like this way. Okay. So you suppose you take the lateral X-ray, then you complete your finding in the lateral X-ray, then you go to the AP and then you come to the findings in the AP X-ray. Okay. Probably you are mixing and matching just to just as you have stamped the case like CTEV. So you are telling like that. It is not the ideal way of reading the X-ray. Okay. So when you take the X-ray of the lateral, so it has to be sequential.
In lateral, we will see for talocalcaneal and tibiocalcaneal angles, sir.
Yes, yes.
In the normal was talocalcine in lateral is 35° to 50° approximate, sir. Here the almost serious, sir. So it is severe. The deformity is severe, sir.
Hmm. Okay, then you come to the AP, and AP, as you described in the AP films, that the
Yes, sir.
first metatarsal and the talus, this angulation and the rotated. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the way when one by one, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In the lateral X-ray, you must describe, what is
Also the soft tissue side.
prominent deformity. There is a complete drop of the metatarsals where the equinus has become more prominent from the midfoot level, and there is a hyperextension
Yes.
into the metatarsophalangeal joints.
Yes, sir.
Do you appreciate that? The metatarsophalangeal joints are in hyperextension, and the metatarsals have a severe equinus. Comparatively, the heel is not in so much of equinus. The calcaneum is not in severe equinus. So, what information you got from the X-ray, it can give you some idea about what is going to be your line of treatment further. Yes, go ahead.
In AP view, the metatarsals are much adducted. The talus neck rotated medially, and body of talus is extruding with the calcaneum, sir. The normal talus first metatarsal angle has become negative since the forefoot is much more abducted, sir.
Okay, so now you decide that you are going for the surgery.
Any role for conservative treatment? Non-surgical treatment?
Since the baby has earlier cardiac defect, we will have one more pediatric consultation and we'll see baby's fit for surgery.
No, I was
Question,
asking
you
whether
under-
there is a role
Yes.
for conservative treatment. Repeating bone setting.
We have tried with 4 serial POP cases, sir. No.
That's okay. Listen carefully what sir is trying to ask.
Yes, sir.
So tell us normal protocol till when or till what age you can try again for Ponseti. What is normal Ponseti protocol? Up to what age you can try Ponseti? Any student can unmute and answer this question of Gopakumar sir. Anyone?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, Said Salar. Go ahead. Unmute and tell.
Sir, good evening. Up to 6 months of age, sir. Ponseti.
Which book you are reading? Any other person? Any other student?
You can try Ponseti adolescent age, sir. Even for relapse cases and recurrent cases also, you can try Ponseti.
Sir, up to 8 years.
Ponseti up to 8 years.
Sir, up to 2 years, sir.
2 years.
Up to 2 years. Who answered this question? Mohan, you answered.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now it's homework for you. In Campbell, they have nicely given protocol up to the adolescent age, means up to the management by triple arthrodesis from Ponseti, step by step. So will you be able to make short presentation next time for from Ponseti protocol to triple arthrodesis in between whatever surgeries are there as per the age? Will you be able to do it?
Oh, okay, sir.
This will be your homework. I think we should continue. Gopakumar sir,
Yeah.
we want your comment on this basic, because this is confusing, sir. Many students, as per their teachers teaching, they go, but they forget that basic first Ponseti protocol and then revised Ponseti paper, and then he tried in even relapse cases and up to 2 years age or that. So we want from you, sir, if similar questions are put forth in the exam, how students should answer.
Yeah, I think it is better for them to follow standard protocol, even though on SETI there is no upper limit of age that has been described. Now even most people are doing it beyond, even after 10 years. Matthew Varghese sir does even in up to the age of adolescence he is trying with the same protocol. So many people are doing. There was a paper from Nepal, a big series where they did Ponseti after the age of 2 years. So there is no fixed route as such, but if Campbell says like that, it is better. You can give the reference also up to the age of 2 years. You can follow Ponseti, no problem.
Thank you, sir. Students, now there is 14th Campbell, recent Campbell. I have not yet gone through it, but Mohan, I think it's your duty and your call for next week. Please go through Campbell and take out those charts and whatever tables given in the book and come up with crisp presentation. Okay.
You don't get full correction.
Yes.
The amount of surgery that needs to be done can be reduced.
Yes, yes.
Much less soft tissue release is necessary. That is what they say.
Yes. By at least by 2, 3, or 4 cast, you can reduce the amount of soft tissue release.
Yeah.
I remember in one of the meetings, there was one lady, pediatric orthopedic surgeon from Philippines. You know, she has been doing it till the age of almost 12, 13 years. You know,
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
Yeah. And she had presented number of her cases in that meeting, and she had shown that they get fairly good correction by Ponseti technique even at that age group, you know.
Yeah. So as far as the exam is concerned, there is no harm in saying that 2 years beyond that it is not fully proven. There's no problem.
Yes, follow the Campbell for that sake, because otherwise these are all paper sort of thing. So textbook wise, you have to tell like 2 years.
Yes, go ahead.
Gopal, I think if somebody is taking about the Ponseti technique, somebody has to tell what are the sequential release is done during the PMR and the surgical steps. Otherwise,
Sir, the task given to the student now, I'm again repeating. He will talk us about the standard protocol of Ponseti as per the Ponseti's original paper. First, just aligning the forefoot with hand foot by just lifting of the first ray, and from the and only that in the first, thereafter sequential how the release will be done, means correction will be done. He will also compare one slide, he will dedicate for kites technique, so that will clarify the difference between Ponseti and kite method. And then as per the age, whatever standard textbooks they are mentioning, we will follow that for exam purpose. Yes, for various international conferences and other paper individual case series, it has less than level 3 or level 3, level 4 or level 5 evidence, which we will not tell in the exam. Only level 1 and level 2, those type of things, usually level 1 and level 2 will come in the literature, so it takes time. So only the standard textbook part we should tell in the exam. That's what I feel. I think senior faculties will agree with me. So
Yeah.
only 7 to 8 slides we expect minimum, and if student is able to do it in a very nice way, even more slides, but clarifying the basic ideas, that is welcome. But I think the CTV being the basic, every exam, even undergraduate or postgraduate, we are getting these cases. So there is no pardon or forgiveness if we will do the blunder in basics of CTV. And I will request senior faculties to allow us to present the CTV cases at least 2 to 3 times in a total our foot and ankle part, because repeatedly these things needs to be hammered. And one the today's presenter Ram Vivek, you will tell us about radiological all the angles in normal as against in CTV, this comparative type normal angle with arrows on the radiographic pictures, and in the CTV, what is the difference? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Along with that, where the investigations as per the age, what you will do in less than 6 months, what you will do between 6 months to 1 year, what you will do thereafter, all these investigations with reasoning, you should be able to tell us. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So treatment wise, anything more we would like to discuss here, especially releases? Which release you would like to do, Ram Vivek?
Posteromedial soft tissue release, sir.
So what is the principle when you say posteromedial? Then tell us when you will do the posteromedial, and what are all other types of releases you will do in various cases.
There are we are using mostly that McKay modified McKay method, sir. 3 different types of incision can be used. Turquoise is the artistic shaped posteromedial incision, while the transverse circumferential incision is Cincinnati. And another
Hey, Ram
technique is
Vivek,
there.
you are
Sir.
asked what will you do? You should tell only one, because
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot do 3 incisions. So you should say what you are going to do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Rather than tell theory, in clinics, you will have to tell, if you are asked what you will do, what release will you do, you will tell one release. What are the structures you release? That is
Yes,
what
sir.
Gopal was asking.
I'll do Carroll's 2 incision technique, sir. We'll release the medial side and posterior side and lateral side contractor structures and soft tissues.
So you are not doing only
Just
posteromedial
structures of
release.
medial.
Yes, sir.
So this is your task for next time. Along with this radiological part of angles in CTV, your task is you will teach us about various types of releases you will do, you usually do in CTV, and in which conditions specifically which release you will do. Okay. You understood my question?
Yes, sir.
And tell the specific structure, not contracted soft tissue. You have to tell name, which ligament, which tendon,
Yes, sir.
not contracted tissues.
Deep deltoid ligament, interosseous ligament.
This you are going to tell next time, no? So you can go ahead and read it, and next time Gopal is going to tell next time, no?
Yes, sir. But now I'm having request to Kakatkar sir and Gopakumar sir. Sir, can I ask some student to do the symposium on the CTV? I
Yeah,
think
that
this
should
is
be-
important because all the things should be covered in a very crystal way. I think we should go ahead with symposium about CTV. Like again, I will bang upon the Anuj Roy from Jammu. If he is able to, till date, 3 seminars he has done nicely. This topic, we need to get very good clarification about our basics. So, Kakatkar sir, Gopakumar sir, will it be okay?
Yes.
We can dedicate one class exclusively for A to Z about CTV, theoretical part.
Sure. Definitely.
Thank
You
you,
can
sir.
ask one person to do everything, or you can divide it into two, three pathoanatomy, one person.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I will
Features and
definitely try.
diagnosis one.
Right, sir. I will definitely try. But seeing the enthusiasm and only spoon feeding habit of our students, those who are coming forward, I will distribute
Okay.
amongst themselves. Else, I will find one student.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, sir.
Will do.
Thank you, sir. Anything else we would like to ask, sir, regarding CTV to the student?
A role of just
Yeah.
role of external fixators.
Okay, sir.
Sir, it was developed by our Indian scientist, Dr. B.B. Joshi. The principle behind that was
In this particular case. No. The theory is different. We can
Yes, sir.
use just in this particular case. Yes. 1 year, 3 or 4. Child is only 14 months.
Yes, sir. No bony procedure.
You can use it,
Still
but it
skeletal
will be
maturity.
a little difficult. Yeah, you can use it, there's no problem. But you should be careful because the foot is very small.
But only after skeletal
Anything
maturity,
else?
sir.
No, you can use
No,
it,
no,
but
no.
as
It is done,
Gopakumar sir said, it has to be used with caution. And there are advantages, disadvantages of that procedure. The advantage, especially in the unilateral CTV, is that you can not only get correction of the deformities, but then you can get some lengthening of the foot. So the discrepancy in the size can be partially corrected by doing JES method. Whereas if you do only soft tissue release, you will not be able to achieve this lengthening. So you can have a plus point by having a little advantage of lengthening the foot. But at the same time, in a small foot like this, you have to be very particular about placement of your wires and proper distraction. You have to supervise them properly. Otherwise, number of times you can worsen the situation. So
Yes, sir.
I have myself used JS in this age group, and we have got good result. But then it has to be really very closely supervised management. And then once you talk about JES, you have to tell the basic principles about differential distraction, how it is managed, and all that is very important. Anything more, Gopakumar sir?
Nothing. We'll next week probably we'll have that symposium.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
a few more cases.
I think in practical exam, unless and otherwise you are asked for any external fixer, it's better not to comment on the external fixer, because otherwise it is as such a difficult subject. And I think most of the people, they don't agree that the small child they bear the external fixer in a proper way. Only I think Kakatkar sir, Gopakumar sir, they will agree that probably in the very recalcitrant type and also very relapsed cases only we do the JS. Otherwise we don't do the JS for the cases where we can jolly well manage with the posteromedial release.
Yeah.
Am I correct, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think you must read the JS, how it is, how where the pins has to go and all these things, because this is another one topic. Okay, so you must read it properly. Okay, I think today we covered most of the things, but basic thing is that never forget anything about the club foot, like what are the sequence of the Ponseti technique, the Pirani score, because if you do any mistake in your club foot, it is like you're making any mistake like in a heap case. So your every answer has to be correct.
Yes, sir.
I think students should remember, like the medicine person not able to answer PUO, or radiology student not able to answer about reading the chest X-ray, and anesthesia PG not able to answer about spinal anesthesia. The CTV is like that basic. Any basic concept problem within CTV, I think a genuine examiner will say, thank you, sir. We will meet after 6 months. So it is that important. Any basic or any blunder in the basics, and you are straightway failed, no matter how good you will perform in other things.
And I think in the next class, we is supposed to talk on the surgical aspect. Please tell how to manage with the braces. What brace you advise and how long it should be, both in the non-surgical and the surgical cases. Okay, so that we cover the whole aspect.
Yes.
I think investigation part one aspect, treatment part as per the age another aspect, Ponseti protocol itself one more aspect, various theories about CTV one more aspect, various releases in CTV one more aspect, and definitive uh, treat surgical management when you are not able to do correction with releases and other management is one aspect. These few parts, along with basic concepts about CTV, CVT, and other associated conditions, these all aspects in detail should be covered in the symposium or in a subsequent classes.
So, okay, Gopal, better you do the distribute who is going to speak on what subject in the student group. So I think then it will be less confusing then. Okay.
Yes.
Right, sir. Right, sir. I think I felt this. Thank you all senior faculties for allowing me to do this, because I think every time I myself get confused after listening to these attending these cases, because students usually they are having very basic some problem in the understanding of the concepts, and unfortunately including my generation, sir, we are very less fortunate for having good exposure about the CTV, because our whole knowledge is now rounded about only posteromedial release. If nothing can be done, most of the times Ponseti, and to some extent TA release, either percutaneous or Z plasty. I think that is the reason we ourselves are not that much very well, like Akatkar sir, Gopakumar sir, Kanojiya sir, or Samananta sir. You whatever knowledge you are, practical knowledge you are having, we are not having that much, and that's why I took this opportunity to distribute the topic, because I want students should get maximum benefit from your knowledge, sir, with all senior faculties.
No. Gopal, I completely agree that we are lucky that we are having Gopakumar sir and Kakatkar sir in our group, because we don't basically we don't see even the CTV cases. Whatever we are discussing is from the knowledge what we gathered during many years ago. So I think you distribute these things, then we'll be discussing, and we also read and learn from them.
Right, sir. If
Okay.
at all I will be requiring more time, then I will postpone it for after 15 days, and I will adjust one more case in between. And if
Okay,
it
no
is
problem.
if it is okay, then next Saturday, next Tuesday will be my target. That anyhow, this topic we should finish by next Tuesday.
Okay, no problem, no problem. They will finish it, no problem. It's not a very big topic.
I think give them 2 weeks time, and
Sir.
next Tuesday we'll do one more ankle foot case, and
Right, sir.
next to next Tuesday I think should be the seminar on CTV.
Yes, give them
Right.
2 weeks time, because then they can prepare it properly.
Because all the residents also are now working, and it sometimes becomes time to prepare. So instead of 1 week, I think give them 2 weeks so that everybody can be perfectly ready with the topic.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, one more topic I am finding important is heel pain part. Differential diagnosis of heel pain. That one symposium I want last or second last class on this area of ankle foot. We should prepare in a very thorough way, starting from heel pad syndrome to plantar fasciitis to all sorts of causes of pain around heel, between heel and ankle area.
We will do that, surely.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. I think let's say bye today.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ramvivek, please stop sharing your screen.
Okay, chalo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sivananda, sir.
Sir.
Your
Sir.
mnemonics, we are
Gopal, sir.
missing. Your mnemonics were missing since so many days, sir.
Sir. Triple R.
Sir.
Triple R.
Sir.
Reduction of the talonavicular joint and retention of the talonavicular joint and allow it to remodel. That is the secret of success of PT. Triple R. Yes.
Right, sir. Triple arthrodesis and triple R.
Yes.
If nothing is left in our hand, then go for a triple R. That is triple
Yes.
arthrodesis and whatever you are saying.
Yes. So triple R is the reduction of the talonavicular joint, and that is retention of that and allow it to remodel.
Right, sir. Okay, thank you very much. I think, sir, we should call for the day, and after 15 days, we will make this CTV as a basic understanding part in the form of symposium or seminar. Students can unmute. Anyone of you can unmute if you have any queries or any doubt, or if you want anything else we should take up in this topic. Students. I think students don't want to present, they don't want to suggest, and they don't want to speak. Thank you. We will call for the day.
Sir, for the syndromic.
Sir.
So initially they allow Ponseti technique.
Sir.
For the correction, for at least minimum 3 months.
Sir.
Then minimum soft tissue releases, then they advise external fixators, pure stabilization system.
Sir.
For all syndromic. Routine Ponseti won't be correctable with routine manipulations, but initially we have to do the Ponseti.
Sir.
Even in syndrome of Foots also.
Sir, basic understanding about Ponseti is very essential and important because it is exactly opposite maneuver of kites technique. Yeah, after correction of supination, the next stages simultaneously there is abduction and correction also. So basic understanding is very important. That's what I feel.
And
My
Uday
clinic-
Kumar sir, where is Uday Kumar sir?
Uday Kumar sir is busy with practice, sir. This is the peak hours in AP.
I see.
Yeah, in the AP, clinic starts by 5 o'clock and ends by 11 o'clock.
I see.
So these are the peak hours.
But
In AP.
we are used to see both of you.
Sir, I will be there always. I will be there. I changed my timings in Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I am coming very early and I am coming by 4:30 and I am finishing by 8 o'clock like that.
Great, sir.
Very nice.
I changed my clinic timings on Tuesday, sir.
So tell your guru also